What's going on, everybody? It is Joe. Welcome to the channel today. RLUSD is now live on Kraken, one of the largest exchanges. So today I want to just talk about RLUSD, talk about stablecoins, talk about the potential impact RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin, could have on the market and what that would mean for XRP. A lot of people don't know the true potential of RLUSD and the impact it could have. So I just kind of want to break everything down, go over some projections of what could happen in a very bullish scenario for 2025. So stick with me until the end. I'm going to go over a few different people talking about RLUSD, what they think is going to happen. Then I'm going to go over what I think is going to happen and what is possible. So if you're curious about RLUSD, if you're curious about stablecoins, stick with me through the end. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts. I'd love to interact with you guys. That being said, I would just want to dive into prices real quick and then we will get into things. So we have XRP, which is tied to Ripple, at $2, down 5.5% today, down 14% on the week. So RLUSD directly tied with that. But then other stablecoins, Tether, USDT, trading, I mean, these don't move much, but you got the third market cap and the sixth market cap right now. USDC at around 60 billion market cap, Tether around 144 billion market cap, just ahead of XRP. When XRP is doing well, when it's around like 240, 250, we see XRP overtake Tether and take that third spot. But with the market being down, we have Tether back in the third spot. So definitely room for RLUSD to come in and be a major player along with these. And if that's the case, we would see some rapid growth. So I'm counting on that, and we're going to dive into that. So stick with me here. So Cointelegraph, latest, Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin is now live on Kraken. That's big news. So that's kind of what led me to make this video and want to go over this with you guys. And so RLUSD Spotlight, Uphold's Nancy Beaton explains how RLUSD sets a new standard for stablecoins and brings efficiency, speed, and transparency to global payments. So stick with me here and listen to this.
The stablecoin market is really evolving. It's said that up to 90% of all transactions in crypto and on the blockchain involve stablecoins today. Uphold is unique. Unlike a traditional exchange, we do have a platform that underpins where people could come, and we connect to 30 different trading venues. Ripple USD, which will be listed as RLUSD on the platform, will allow users to have that almost digital dollar in their wallet. And they will be able to use it, spend it, buy crypto, have peer-to-peer remittance. And the really great thing about the RLUSD token is that it will have the transparency, the regulatory process behind it that will allow people to feel comfortable when they are purchasing and using it for payment. Stablecoins are going to be the killer use case for crypto right now. And I think it's because they are efficient, they are fast settlement, it can be 24/7, and they're really cost effective to use. And so we're able to bring that to our customers and give them the transparency and the utility they're looking for.
So as you can see, that stablecoins are going to play such a key role in this country in connecting crypto with retail. You've heard Donald Trump talk about it time and time again. You've heard the people he's put into place for crypto, his advisors, talk about the importance of stablecoins, how stablecoins are their number one priority right now before anything else. They are focusing all their attention on stablecoins, and RLUSD is setting themselves up to be a major player in that space. So if this is the case, if stablecoins are used in those different ways and RLUSD is a major player, what's that going to look like? So we're going to get into some of that in the next couple of pages, so stick with me. Here we have Brad Garlinghouse. Our goal is for RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin, to be among the top 5 in the market by the end of the year. I believe the entire market is set for massive growth in 2025. So listen to what Brad Garlinghouse has to say about it. I'm just kind of setting the stage for the importance of stablecoins and the role RLUSD could play in this country.
Next forefront of stablecoins, now that the U.S. is getting toward clarity, what's possible?
Well, I think we're underestimating how big that might get. You know, today that market's about $230 billion. So I think some smart people think that may go up 10x in the next 5 years. I think that's probably right. I mean, the two leading players in Tether as well as USDC are both, I think, poised to do well in that market. Ripple launched our own stablecoin at the end of last year. That's already ahead of our own internal forecasts in terms of where we are at this point in the year. Still, we're small, but the goal is by the end of the year for RLUSD, Ripple stablecoin, to be one of the top 5 in the market by the end of the year. And I think the whole market's going to grow dramatically over this year.
So what does it take you to get there? Who are you pairing up with? Are you creating some financial partnerships in order to make RLUSD more of a household name?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even today we had more listings go live for RLUSD on some global crypto exchanges. Anytime you do something new, it takes a minute for that kind of, the pun of the ripple effect of seeing how that plays out. And so we're seeing that happen in real time. So I'm really pleased. Again, as I said, we're ahead of our Q1 forecasts of where we expect it to be. So we feel really good about that progress.
So
about the next
he feels really good about it. He thinks there could be a 10x. He thinks RLUSD is going to position themselves to be a top 5 coin in that space. I think that's very realistic. And if we do see stablecoins take a 10x, I mean, let's take a look. Tether would have a $1.4 trillion market cap. That would be very, very large. That would be up there with Bitcoin right now. But obviously, if that were to happen, Bitcoin would shoot up as well. So it would not be that close. But Tether getting to like $1 trillion market cap, you would have USDC getting to like a $600 billion market cap. So you would see some very large numbers in that space. So if RLUSD got to that, what would that look like for XRP? We're going to dive into that more, but you can just see the potential for stablecoins. And if stablecoins take those leaps, take those jumps, what XRP could get to. So moving on, Justin, Ripple integrates RLUSD stablecoin into cross-border payment system. Ripple USD's market cap reached $244 million, growing 87% over the past month, and monthly transfer volume of $860 million. What are your thoughts on Ripple's stablecoin? So it is growing massively right now. RLUSD is expanding. We are seeing action every single day on how it is growing, how it is expanding, and the use cases for it. So RLUSD is setting themselves up to be a major player, and it's only a matter of time before we see it get to where we think it's going to be, in my opinion. This is why RLUSD helps XRP. RLUSD transactions on the XRP ledger require XRP to pay gas fees, which are burned. This reduces XRP supply. The more RLUSD usage means more XRP burned. RLUSD increases liquidity for cross-border payments and DeFi on the XRPL. So this is David Schwartz, Ripple CTO. We're going to listen to him give his thoughts on it, and then I will give my thoughts as well.
Of Ripple stablecoin benefits the broader XRP ledger ecosystem, driving more use cases and opportunities for developers. While XRP is the native currency on the ledger, it was built to support any type of asset, crypto or fiat, issued to trade on the DEX. Bringing more credible assets on the DEX, like RLUSD, drives direct and indirect benefits. For example, it drives more trading volume, which natively uses XRP as a bridge asset through auto-bridging and generally benefits users, developers, and apps. A unique feature of the XRPL DEX is that auto-bridging utilizes XRP as the native currency to facilitate trades between any two assets on the ledger. It automatically considers XRP as an intermediary to find the most efficient trading route across assets. RLUSD and XRP will complement each other because of the inherent differences of the cryptocurrencies. For Ripple's proprietary payment products, XRP will continue to be used as a bridge currency. Given the XRPL's speed, cost, and scalability, we see RLUSD being able to foster the growth of new on-chain applications like real-world asset tokenization, foreign exchange markets, and trade settlement. We're entering a growing market expected to see significant expansion, especially with stablecoins. Builders will certainly take advantage of the new opportunities presented by this ecosystem.
So, big things coming for stablecoins. RLUSD going to be a major player. Next page, I'm going to kind of explain. I use Grok to help me out a little bit, so I'm just going to use that to walk through it for you guys to kind of hopefully better explain what is possible if this happens for RLUSD in a bullish scenario. So stick with me. I think you're going to like the results. So, bullish outlook for RLUSD in 2025. In this highly optimistic scenario, RLUSD could achieve a market cap of $100 billion by mid-2025, with potential to climb to $250 billion by year end. This projection is based on RLUSD rapidly gaining traction as a top-tier stablecoin fueled by Ripple's extensive network of over 300 financial institutions, regulatory compliance, and integration into both the XRP ledger and Ethereum ecosystems. For context, Tether currently holds a market cap of around $120 billion, and Circle's USDC is at approximately $55 billion. RLUSD reaching $100 billion would place it among the top 3 stablecoins, which is one of Brad Garlinghouse's goals, with $250 billion surpassing USD to become the market leader. This would be driven by mass adoption and cross-border payments, institutional backing, DeFi expansion, regulatory clarity, all these things that are expected to happen. And if they do happen, we could see this happen for RLUSD. So mass adoption and cross-border payments, we are seeing that happening. We are seeing rumors. We're seeing people set the stage for this to be able to take place. Institutional backing, we are seeing that happen day in and day out of things setting the stage for this to be able to happen. DeFi expansion, regulatory clarity. We are seeing some more regulatory clarity every single day, it seems. A pro-crypto U.S. administration, post against their SEC. We just saw the new SEC chairman get appointed today. So all these things are happening, and this growth is driven by these things. So in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before stablecoins play this role that we think it can play. And I think the stage is getting set. So I'm very, very bullish that this is possible. And let's dive into these numbers more. With a $100 to $250 billion market cap, RLUSD would be a cornerstone of the global digital economy. Circulating supply, assuming RLUSD remains pegged 1-to-1 to the USD, its circulating supply would reach 100 to 250 billion tokens, backed by a robust reserve of US dollar deposits, government bonds, and cash equivalents, audited regularly for transparency. Usage scenarios, RLUSD would dominate cross-border payments with daily transaction volumes in the tens of billions. For example, a bank in Japan could use RLUSD to settle a $50 million payment to a European firm in seconds via RippleNet, bypassing Swift's multi-day delays, and DeFi RLUSD could be locked in liquidity pools, used as collateral for lending, or traded on decentralized exchanges like Solgenic, driving its utility. All these things aren't that far-fetched, you guys. Like, I do believe these things are possible. Implications for Ripple, you have a revenue surge, you have market leadership, like Ripple would outpace competitors like Stellar and Swift's blockchain initiatives, becoming the de facto standard for blockchain-based payments. Valuation boost, Ripple's valuation could soar past 100 billion, impact on XRP price. So this is where it gets really interesting. And this is what I really wanted to go over with you guys on some of the price predictions for XRP if we did see RLUSD get to these levels. So, increased demand. RLUSD's widespread use in ODL would require XRP as a bridge currency. For instance, converting USD to RLUSD to EUR might involve XRP for liquidity, driving XRP transaction volume into the trillions annually. Reduced supply pressure. If RLUSD minting involves XRP and escrow, circulating XRP supply could decrease, amplifying price gains. Market sentiment. RLUSD's success could bolster confidence in Ripple's ecosystem, attracting institutional and retail investors to XRP. So, if this were to happen, and like, I'm not saying like, oh, this is above 50% it's going to happen. Obviously, a lot needs to take place for this to happen in 2025. This is a very bullish case scenario, but I'm saying it's not that far-fetched for these things to happen, whether that's 2025, 2028, whatever it may be. I do think the stage is getting set for this to happen. So, in this bullish 2025 vision, this is saying, oh, this could happen this year. Cross-border payments. A U.S. firm sends $10 million to a supplier in Dubai. The payment is converted to RLUSD, bridged via XRP, and delivered as AED in under 10 seconds with fees under 10 cents. DeFi application on XRPL, RLUSD is paired with tokenized assets. Ondos finances OUSG treasuries for yield farming, offering 5 to 10% annualized returns to institutional investors. This would be big for RLUSD. CBDC integration. Central banks in Asia or the Middle East use RLUSD as a settlement layer for CBDC transactions, with XRP facilitating conversions between RLUSD and local digital currencies. And then, so a breakdown of the scenario. RLUSD at $250 billion market cap. RLUSD would overtake USDT. Whether USDT in this scenario would also go up, because I'm sure stablecoins would be growing rapidly for RLUSD to grow, but this is saying RLUSD at 250 billion, used daily by millions of individuals and thousands of institutions. Ripple's transformation. Ripple becomes a household name like Visa, PayPal, with RLUSD as its flagship product. Its XRPL produces trillions in value annually, dwarfing competitors. This would mean XRP at $50 to $100. XRP's price reflects its critical role in RLUSD's ecosystem, with the market cap approaching Bitcoin's daily trading volume exceeds 50 billion, and XRP holders see returns of 2,000 to 5,000% from yearly 2025 prices around $2. So XRP at $50 to $100 if this were to happen. Conclusion: in this bullish 2025 outlook, RLUSD's meteoric rise to $100 to $250 billion market cap would redefine Ripple's role in finance and propel XRP to unprecedented heights, $50 to $100. RLUSD would serve as a stable, compliant bridge between fiat and crypto, while XRP's utility and scarcity drive its value. This scenario hinges on aggressive adoption, regulatory tailwinds, and Ripple's execution. Ambitious, but within the realm of possibility given current momentum and infrastructure. So that's the big thing here. That's kind of what I was saying. Like, although this is very ambitious, it's not that far off from potentially happening if all these things happen. I think the stage is getting set for these things to happen. Whether or not that happens in 2025 or not, I'm not sure. I think that's kind of unlikely, but it is possible. And I do think if it were to happen, like, it could happen. Like RLUSD, stablecoins, we've seen President Trump, we've seen different advisors in his crypto cabinet that he's appointed talk about stablecoins, talk about that importance, talk about what they're doing and how it could help the U.S. incorporate crypto and drive retail investors to it. So I don't know. Well, give me your thoughts below. What do you think? Do you think those are totally unrealistic? Do you think it's possible that we could see those prices for XRP if RLUSD hits a market cap of that? We heard Brad Garlinghouse mention he thinks a 10x in market cap is definitely possible. If we see that 10x in market cap, we can potentially see that RLUSD get to that $100 to $250 billion market cap. I wouldn't be too shocked if that happens someday. Whether that's 2025 again, not sure. But a 10x in market cap, like, I do think it's possible. So give me your thoughts below. I'd love to hear them. I just today wanted to go over RLUSD since we're hearing that in the news a little bit lately. A lot of people just hear about Ripple, hear about XRP, don't really talk too much about RLUSD. So I wanted to kind of go over that. What could happen, what that would look like for it to happen, and then what the implications for XRP would be. So stablecoins are in the news a lot. Wanted to go over that. Give me your thoughts below. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content today. Hit that like button if you did like it as well, and that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks again so much, and until then, I will see you next time.